Good evening. Let's try that again. Good evening. Thank you. It's always good to hear from the choir. Welcome to the first installment of the 2025 Radiant Partners Ignite series. And this one is going to be great. What an exciting time to start a new series with health and wellness. So I'm really excited to introduce my new best friend, Heather Jordan. She is a certified health and wellness coach, a certified strength and conditioning specialist, a certified Reiki master, a certified emotion code practitioner. Yes. Yes. So that's not when my wife says, sure, you can do that.
Let's do it,
All right, it's your show. Go, Miss Heather.
Oh, great. I am so excited to be here. This is amazing. All right. Well, so we're going to talk about health and wellness, the elements of which are not a mystery. Everybody knows what good health and wellness is. I bet that a day doesn't go by that you don't talk or read or see something on TV to remind you of health and wellness. If I asked you what you needed to do in your daily life to improve your health and wellness, I know that every single one of you could say, I could eat more nutritiously, I could exercise more, I could eat fresh fruits and vegetables, I could control my, decrease my stress, sleep better, all of those things you already know. So we're not going to be talking about all of that a lot because who didn't know anything that I just said that relates to health and wellness? Everyone already knows that. So why does wellness sometimes feel so nebulous and evasive? As a health and wellness professional and working with people for over 25 years now, I could talk to you about new gadgets, the new fads with fitness and wellness. I could even attempt to instill fear in you as to what would happen if you didn't, that's okay, if you didn't employ health and wellness into your everyday life. I'm here to tell you that none of that works. Scaring you, telling you more of what you already know, at least not in the long term. It might motivate you for, a couple of weeks, like when January comes around, we're motivated to exercise or to eat better, but it fizzles out. I'm more interested in long-term wellness for you all. So if you're struggling with falling off the wellness wagon again and again and again, I'm hoping that what you'll take away from our time together will help you see yourself and wellness in a different light. Over the years, I have been keenly and nearly obsessively aware of those who adopt and adhere to healthy lifestyles and those who don't. The dividing factor has become abundantly clear to me. It's knowing your life purpose and deeming it important and worthy. You may be thinking, wow, that is a daunting question. This is not what I came here for. So I have to know my life's purpose in order to feel healthy and well. I might never know that. Great, thanks. I guess I'm just not going to be well. Let me explain. I'm guessing that most of you have heard the term genetic blueprint. It's the gene and DNA configuration that we're born with that makes us who we are. It's nothing new. Genes have been studied for well over 100 years. And you could go out today, you could go to your PCP and get some tests run and a copy of your genetic blueprint that your primary care physician could interpret that for you and maybe point out some benefits that you have or some strengths that you've inherited and maybe some red flags. That is all well and good. We are learning now that genetics make up just a very small percentage of the larger picture that determines how likely we are to live our fullest and healthiest lives. It is the dependent factor of the much more important information that is also knit into our being at conception that I call our existential blueprint. That is what I'm going to talk about today. That really matters in how we use health and wellness to enhance our lives. Our existential blueprint is our reason for being, our purpose for living, our universal contribution that makes us feel important and know our worth. But here's the kicker. You can't go to your PCP and run a test for your existential blueprint. Your parents and even your soulmate, who you think knows you better than you know yourself, does not have access to this most important information. You are the only person that has access to your existential blueprint, and you know it best in childhood. I believe the reason that so many of us are sick, uninspired, lack motivation, and maybe even miserable is because over the course of our lifetime, our existential blueprint has become so convoluted, so marked up, so X'd out, and written over that it can no longer be read and interpreted by you. Your existential blueprint does not mean that there's no free will or choice in your life. You're always given choice. It's just like if your genetic blueprint is coded for you to have brown hair, doesn't mean that you can't dye it red. Or that if you have heart disease in your family, it doesn't mean that you can't make choices to change that for yourself. But the existential blueprint works a little bit differently. Let me show you how it works. Here is an individual, let's just say that here is an individual's existential blueprint. Let's pretend that this is little Janie Doe's blueprint, what she is created for and her reason for being here on Earth, to be an astronomer. Just because Janie's existential blueprint is coded for her to enjoy and be talented in the field of astronomy doesn't mean that she'll necessarily choose it if she is told throughout her life that she's not smart enough, that she's wasting her time with her head in the clouds, looking at the stars, that she's out of her field in a league dominated by men, that she'll never make any money learning and needs to find something more practical and lucrative, that she shouldn't work outside the home, that she should just maybe focus on playing a sport instead, maybe that she's weird and will never find anyone who relates to her. Or that maybe her parents were both lawyers and her job is to become a lawyer as well so that she can inherit the law firm. Or maybe that science just isn't her thing. For instance, she got a D in physics last year. There's no way that you're going to be able to do this. Now, what does she do with this? This undecipherable mess of a blueprint that instead of providing important clues to what could bring enjoyment and fulfillment according to her unique talents and interests, translates for her to, I can't do anything right. I don't know what I even like or what I'm good at. My interests are stupid. I'm essentially worthless. It is nearly impossible to take care of something that you consider inadequate, unimportant, or that its very existence makes little to no difference. It reminds me of a conversation I used to have with my husband about a month or so ago when we owned a car that was pretty run down and was on its last leg. It was hanging on by a thread. It was in and out of the shop, and we tried to put the minimum amount of effort into the car because it just wasn't worth putting any more money, interest, time, anything into it. It was unhealthy. We didn't see its value. It wasn't worth anything. We also have another car that's the exact opposite. It's luxurious, it's reliable, it's extremely useful, it's well built, and with regular upkeep, care, and attention, it'll last us a long time. It's a worthy investment of time, money, and effort. But it's no different for humans. Once a person has concluded that they have little worth, it's extremely hard to convince them that they should spend time and money doing things to take care of themselves. Why on earth would someone bother, say, getting up an hour or two earlier than they need to, maybe 3 to 5 days a week, to exercise when sleeping in feels so much better and is so tempting? Why would a person want to plan, shop, and prepare meals at home when Chick-fil-A is so easy and convenient? So what do we do now? For starters, you can have a deep conversation with yourself. So take a few minutes to bring to mind what you spend most of your day doing. What do you do with your time? Here's some questions that you could ask yourself. Do I get excited about how I fill my day and feel lucky that I get to do it? Does it come naturally to me? Am I good at it? Does it make me feel proud? If I think about not doing it, does it make me feel sad? If money was of no consequence or consideration, would I still want to do what I do every day? And the ultimate question is, am I doing what I was put on this earth to do? And if you know, you know. Again, so what now? How do we change that? If you answered no to a couple of those questions, my hunch is that you're probably not living your highest, most purpose-filled life. If you're willing, I would love for us to do a short exercise together. So wiggle around in your seat a little bit, get comfortable. And if you are willing again, take a very deep breath. Hold the breath at the top, and as slowly as you can, exhale. Do that again. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. As slowly as you can, exhale. So let's settle in for a little journey. Let's see if we can go on a journey to access your existential blueprint. It's the information that no one else can see but you about why you are here and what will make you feel most happy and fulfilled in this lifetime. Take a moment to recall your 10-year-old self. Imagine that it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon and you are watching your 10-year-old self doing what she loves to do best. What does she look like? Is he highly energetic or calm and still? Is he outdoors or indoors? Is she with other people or enjoying time by herself? What does she like to talk about or read about? What is he curious about? What does she lose track of time doing? What does he get lost in? take a moment. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Take a moment to just watch what your 10-year-old self is doing. Notice whatever it is that brings him or her joy and fulfillment. I'm going to give you maybe 30 seconds to really get a good picture in your mind's eye of what your 10-year-old self is doing. If your eyes are closed, keep them closed. Now, imagine you've got your 10-year-old self there. Imagine that you walk towards him. You bend down so that you're at eye level. Look at her in the eyes and say, "You are so smart, talented, and good." Maybe you could say something like, "I love how you fill in the blank." Whatever it is that your 10-year-old self is doing, that's really amazing. Now tell him that you can't wait to see how he uses his gift as time goes by. If your eyes are still closed and you feel comfortable keeping them closed, now fast forward with me to 3 to 5 years from the current present date. So it's around 2028 to 2030. We're going to spend a few minutes here for you to envision your best, most fulfilled, highest expression of this precious life of yours. So remember that we're looking 3 to 5 years from now. So how old are you? If you have children or a partner, how old are they? What do you look like? Where do you live? What does your house look like? Who, if anyone, lives with you? How do you spend your time? What are your hobbies, interests, and passions? What do you do for fun? What are you especially talented at doing? Now take a moment. I'm going to give you maybe 30 seconds here to see in your mind's eye, to watch yourself in your element, doing whatever that is 3 to 5 years from now that brings you fulfillment and a feeling of purpose. Now you, as your present self, walk towards him or her and say, "Thank you for having the courage, insight, and wisdom to lay the groundwork for this to be the life that I get to live. Thank you for remembering who you are. Thank you for realizing your potential and purpose. I cannot wait for this to be my life in just a few short years." Now give him a handshake, give her a hug, and say, "I'll see you later." And open your eyes. What did you see? Is it very different from how your life looks now? Is what you've been told up to this point in your life by society, by parents, by other well-meaning family members, perhaps even friends, teachers, colleagues, is what you've been told true? Imagine it, you've been on a journey, you've been on an imagination journey. We're going to stay on this journey. So imagine that these are being taken away from the convoluted existential blueprint. What you could say to yourself instead is that you are smart. Every single person in this room and who is walking the earth is smart. There are infinite types of smart. IQ and academic intelligence is just one of them, and probably not the most important one. You have really cool, unique interests. No one can do exactly what you do or is interested in things quite the same way that you are. We need your perspective and your interest. We need your way. You are just as good or better than anyone in your field. You will add valuable perspective that isn't already there. If you do what you were put on this earth to do, the money will be there to support you. Money offers security, but not fulfillment necessarily. Fulfillment is so much more valuable, and money cannot always provide fulfillment. I realize my audience, who I'm talking to, I still say the same thing. Money cannot always provide fulfillment. You can have both children and your own career and interests. Both can happen. In fact, it's better for you and your children if you have a purpose-filled life doing what you were meant to do. If you focus on your passion, remember these, if this was working correctly, these are things that are truths for little Janie Doe. And as we uncover them, her existential blueprint is going to become clear. Grades in school do not dictate your purpose. So the fact that she got a D in physics one year does not mean that she's not meant to be an astronomer. So now we should be back at square one. So you can essentially go back in time and tell yourself what you should have been told as a child. You are so good at that. Can you tell me what you, if we're talking to little Janie Doe, imagine that someone said to her, can you tell me more about what you love about the stars and planets? What a unique interest you have. How can I help you learn more? I wonder what other people who are interested in this stuff do when they grow up. Just think of all the ways, Janie Doe, that you can help people by explaining what you've learned about space. I can't wait to see how you use your talent. If that all was taken away, Janie Doe's existential blueprint would be clear again. It would be decipherable. This is absolutely a worthwhile endeavor to do as an adult, to essentially go back in time and coach yourself to read your existential blueprint to find your purpose. You can be that special adult, teacher, friend, or parent in your life that you never had. Okay, but we're not going to stop right there. We're not done. Here's where the good stuff begins. The next step is the beginning of what makes your vision become reality. The vision that you saw of yourself 3 to 5 years from now. It's never too late. We're going to get this beautiful vision that you saw on paper. So the reason why you have pens and pads of paper is that you are going to write down what you saw, or if your eyes were open, what you thought of what your vision of your fulfilled, amazing life 3 to 5 years from now looks like. I literally want you to write it down. And I'm going to give you a few minutes to do this. So write your vision 3 to 5 years from now. What are you doing? Where are you living? How do you spend your time? What are your hobbies? What fills you with joy? What would you do if money was not a factor? Maybe use current tense. I am what? I am working in an amazing wealth management company and helping people with fulfillment in their investments. I am working in my vegetable garden in my backyard. I am teaching children to ice skate. I don't know. I am making balloon animals. Whatever it is, I am what? I am doing this. I see a few people still writing. Keep writing. It should flow out of your pen because you have this information as your existential blueprint. It might have been convoluted, but you can start to access it. Here's an example of a client's vision statement. I am a mother and enjoy life with my husband. My family thrives financially, and I'm a writer with a lucrative career. I am part of a creative community. I travel around the world to work and for fun. I have written a successful novel and children's book. I value and spend time with family and friends. I mentor children to help them express their feelings through writing. I surround myself with people who make me laugh and feel loved. Here's another one, just to give you an idea. I present myself to the world with confidence by wearing fashionable, well-fitting clothing. I surround myself with my tribe of people who uplift me and fuel my social needs. I spend time entertaining by cooking in a social setting. I enjoy running and make it a priority in my weekly schedule. I fulfill my love of flying, whether it's with an airline or independently. I experience different cultures through travel. I have hobbies and spend time doing activities that provide stimulation that my brain needs. How multidimensional is that? Every client I work with has that, not the same vision, they're all vastly different, but has this huge vision of their life 3 to 5 years from now that becomes a reality. So hopefully you have something written down on your paper. And if you want to edit it now or add to it, now's the time. Go big. It's not the time to be humble or limit yourself or pragmatic. Whatever you say your life will be in 5 years from now is absolutely what it's going to be. So say it and declare it. All right. Is everyone relatively happy with what they have down on their paper or in their mind? Okay, good. All right, now look at your vision statement. What's the easiest thing that you can start doing, maybe even tomorrow, to take a baby step towards your vision? And I'm going to help you with this, but it's a goal that you can easily start working on. It's very low-hanging fruit, like super easy, that if you look at it, you're like, oh, yeah, that's no problem. So I'll give you an example. The pilot. Maybe she could make a goal for herself that's something like, by Friday, I'll clean out my closet of clothes that do not align with my vision and donate them to charity. Another example could be addressing the sentence about entertaining. She could write a goal for herself that states something like, I will host a few friends at my house for dinner next month. The client who wants to be a writer, she could have goals like, I will take a 30-minute walk 4 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday next week. Maybe something like, I will put my phone away at 8:30 p.m., get in bed with a book at 9, turn the light off at 10 o'clock, and be asleep by 10, Sunday through Thursday nights. So as you write your goals, just write something, anything that has to do with your vision. Make it super, super easy and attainable. Again, low-hanging fruit here. And I'm not seeing much writing. You might as well. I mean, who knows? Maybe this could change your whole trajectory of your life. It's something that you want to do. It's something that's in your existential blueprint, and it's not actually that hard. Once you start doing easy things like this, you'll gain momentum, and the journey to health and wellness and fulfillment becomes easy and fun. That's the big secret of health and wellness. It's actually not hard. When there is a higher purpose that's attached to it, it becomes very easy. All right, so now's the part where it's going to all come together in a big package. We're going to come full circle. Here's where you'll see how easy wellness can be when you have a reason to be well. So I'm going to tell you the surest fire way to squash this beautiful vision that you have written on your paper or that you saw in your mind. The best way to squash it is by not taking care of your body, mind, and spirit and just treating it like trash. If you don't protect the vehicle that will bring you to arrive at your best life, then you might as well just tear that vision up right now. It's not going to happen. If you're sick, if your body hurts, if you don't sleep or exercise in the way that supports your vision, it's not going to happen. It can't happen. So what do you need to do to care for yourself in a way that supports your vision? So now these clients have a reason to do health and wellness, have a reason to exercise, have a reason to eat a salad for lunch instead of driving through Chick-fil-A. If the mother who wants to be a writer doesn't get adequate sleep, there's no way she's going to be an energetic mom and a wife with a thriving writing career. There's no way that she'll have the energy to keep up with a child and travel the world if her body is not in good physical condition. So her body being in good physical condition is not the goal. The goal is traveling the world in the vehicle that is her body. But what she can do is she can get off her phone at 8:30 and get some sleep. She can make time to walk if she knows that it's going to help her travel the world. It's a choice. And now she has a really good reason for making that choice. It's at this point that wellness and self-care become easy because it's driven by a purpose, which is a total game changer. In our culture, we exercise either for the sake of exercise or for the sake of having a certain look that actually isn't what we really want. I mean, we want to feel good in our clothes, we want to feel good in our skin, but really what we want is to live a fulfilled life. So you won't be eating the salad for lunch just to eat a salad. You'll be doing it for the biggest reason of all, and that is to lead you to your most fulfilling life. Just like Janie at the beginning of our talk, you will be able to read your existential blueprint. It's clear. Janie knows all that she is capable of contributing to the world, and she takes care of the vessel that makes it possible to bring forth her value. Her contribution, her passion, her worth. She is important and needed, and so are each of you. Are you caring for yourself in a way that supports your existential blueprint? And if not, might you need to peel away some layers that maybe are not so helpful that you got as feedback growing up in your past, so that you can read your purpose clearly and in a way that makes daily choice for wellness easy, purposeful, and obvious. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring about yourself enough to learn how you can incorporate wellness into your life.